Simon Sinek Quotes for Daily Drive 10 Keys to Clarity. An Inspiring Journey Through Purpose and Leadership. Introduction. The Quest for Clarity. In a world filled with endless distractions and competing priorities, finding clarity has become one of our greatest challenges. Yet, it remains the foundation upon which all meaningful success is built. Today, we embark on a transformative journey through 10 powerful principles that will illuminate your path toward purposeful living and authentic leadership. This isn't just another collection of motivational quotes, this is a roadmap to discovering your deepest why, building unshakable confidence, and creating the kind of impact that ripples through generations. Each key we explore today represents a door to greater understanding, not just of success, but of significance. Key 1. Start with why, the foundation of everything. Picture this: two construction workers are laying bricks under the scorching sun. A passerby asks the first worker, "What are you doing?" The worker replies, exhausted, "I'm laying bricks." The same question is posed to the second worker, who responds with energy and pride, "I'm building a cathedral that will inspire people for centuries to come." Both workers are performing identical tasks, yet one sees only the labor while the other sees the legacy. This is the transformative power of understanding your why. Your why is not what you do, it's the reason you get up every morning with fire in your belly. It's the belief that drives you when everyone else has given up. It's the invisible force that turns ordinary people into extraordinary leaders and transforms mundane tasks into meaningful missions. Consider the greatest leaders throughout history. They didn't start by telling people what they did or how they did it. They started with why they believed what they believed. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't say, "I have a plan." He said, "I have a dream." The Wright brothers didn't focus on building better bicycles, they focused on the belief that man could fly and change the course of human travel forever. When you start with why, you tap into the part of the brain that controls feelings, behavior, and decision-making. You connect with people's hearts before their minds. You create followers who don't just buy your product or service, they buy into your cause, your belief, your vision for a better tomorrow. But finding your why isn't always easy. It requires deep introspection, honest self-assessment, and the courage to look beyond immediate gratification toward lasting impact. Your why might be buried under years of expectations, societal pressures, and safe choices. Yet it's there, waiting to be rediscovered. Start by asking yourself, what breaks your heart about the world? What injustice keeps you awake at night? What change do you wish to see that seems impossible to others but inevitable to you? These questions will guide you toward your why. Remember, your why is not about you, it's about the contribution you want to make to others. It's about the legacy you want to leave. It's about the difference you want to make in the lives of people who may never even know your name. Key 2. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. In a marketplace saturated with similar products and services, what makes someone choose one option over another? Logic suggests it's about features, benefits, or price. But the truth is far more profound and emotional. Consider Apple Inc. There are countless computer companies with superior technical specifications, better prices, and more features. Yet Apple commands unprecedented loyalty and premium pricing. Why? Because people don't buy their computers, they buy their belief in thinking differently, in challenging the status quo, in being part of something revolutionary. Apple's customers aren't just buying technology, they're buying an identity. They're saying, "I'm creative. I'm innovative. I'm someone who dares to be different." This emotional connection transcends rational decision-making and creates bonds that withstand competition, criticism, and even occasional disappointment. This principle extends far beyond business. In relationships, people don't connect with what you do for a living or where you went to school. They connect with your values, your dreams, your authentic self. In leadership, followers don't rally behind your title or your authority, they rally behind your vision and your unwavering commitment to something greater than yourself. The magic happens when your why aligns with the why of others. When you communicate your beliefs clearly and consistently, you attract people who share those beliefs. You create tribes of like minded individuals who support each other, champion your cause, and amplify your impact. But here's the crucial part: your why must be genuine. People can sense authenticity from miles away, and they can detect pretense just as easily. You cannot fake your way to meaningful connection. Your beliefs must be real, your passion must be authentic, and your commitment must be unwavering. Think about the teachers who changed your life. They probably weren't the ones with the most impressive credentials or the fanciest teaching methods. They were the ones who believed deeply in their students' potential and communicated that belief through every interaction. They saw something in you that you couldn't see in yourself, and that belief became a catalyst for your growth. Key 3: Leadership is not about being in charge. One of the most profound misunderstandings about leadership is that it's about authority, control, or being at the top of an organizational chart. True leadership has nothing to do with hierarchy and everything to do with responsibility. Real leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. They don't hoard power, they distribute it. They don't demand respect, they earn it through service to others. Leadership is about taking care of those in your charge, not using them to advance your own agenda. Imagine a military unit in combat. The officer who stays in the rear, issuing commands from safety while sending others into danger, may have the rank, but they don't have true leadership. The real leader is the one who says, "Follow me," and steps forward first, who shares the risks and sacrifices alongside their team, who puts the welfare of their people above their own comfort. This principle applies in every context. The parent who leads by example rather than by intimidation. The teacher who sees potential in every student and works to unlock it. The manager who removes obstacles for their team rather than creating them. The friend who shows up during difficult times without being asked. Leadership is about creating environments where people feel safe to be vulnerable, to take risks, to fail and learn, to express their authentic selves. It's about building cultures of trust where individuals can focus on the mission rather than protecting themselves from internal politics or criticism. Great leaders understand that their success is measured not by their own achievements, but by the achievements of those they lead. They celebrate others' victories, take responsibility for failures, and continuously work to develop the capabilities of their team members. This kind of leadership requires profound emotional maturity. It means checking your ego at the door, embracing the fact that you don't have all the answers, and being willing to admit when you're wrong. It means making decisions based on what's best for the group, even when it's not what's best for you personally. Key 4: The goal is not to be perfect, the goal is to be better. In our social media driven world, we're constantly bombarded with images of perfection. Everyone seems to have it figured out, to be living their best life, to have achieved some impossible standard of success and happiness. This creates a dangerous illusion that anything less than perfection is failure. But perfection is not only impossible, it's counterproductive. The pursuit of perfection leads to paralysis, procrastination, and ultimately mediocrity. It prevents us from taking action, from learning, from growing, and from making the kind of progress that actually matters. Progress, not perfection, should be our North Star. Every day offers an opportunity to be slightly better than you were yesterday. Every challenge presents a chance to develop new skills, gain new insights, or strengthen your character. Every mistake becomes a lesson that makes you wiser and more resilient. Consider the greatest athletes in the world. They don't wake up perfect, they wake up committed to improvement. They understand that mastery is not a destination but a journey of continuous refinement. They embrace the process of getting better, knowing that small, consistent improvements compound into extraordinary results over time. This mindset shift is liberating. Instead of being paralyzed by the gap between where you are and where you want to be, you can focus on the next small step forward. Instead of being discouraged by your imperfections, you can celebrate your progress. Instead of waiting until you're ready, you can start where you are with what you have. The Japanese have a beautiful concept called Kaizen, continuous improvement through small, incremental changes. This philosophy recognizes that dramatic transformations rarely happen overnight but are the result of countless small improvements made consistently over time. Your journey is unique, and your progress may not look like anyone else's. That's not only okay, it's exactly as it should be. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. Your only standard is your own growth and development. Embrace the messiness of learning. Celebrate the courage it takes to try something new, even if you're not good at it yet. Find joy in the process of getting better, not just in the achievement of goals. This mindset will not only make you more successful but will make the journey far more enjoyable and fulfilling. Key 5. Trust is built on small actions consistently applied. Trust is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, yet it's often misunderstood. Many people think trust is built through grand gestures or dramatic moments of loyalty. While these can certainly contribute, trust is actually built through the accumulation of small, consistent actions over time. Think about the people you trust most in your life. It's probably not because they once did something spectacular for you. It's because they've shown up consistently, kept their word repeatedly, and demonstrated through countless small actions that they care about your well being and can be counted on. Trust is like a bank account. Every time you do what you say you'll do, you make a deposit. Every time you're honest, even when it's difficult, you make a deposit. Every time you prioritize someone else's needs, you make a deposit. Over time, these deposits accumulate into a substantial reserve of trust that can weather occasional withdrawals. But trust is fragile. It takes years to build and can be destroyed in moments. A single significant betrayal can wipe out years of trust building efforts. This is why consistency is so crucial. It's not enough to be trustworthy sometimes. You must be trustworthy all the time. In leadership, trust is not a nice to have, it's essential for effectiveness. Teams that trust their leaders are more willing to take risks, share ideas, and give their best effort. They're more resilient in the face of challenges and more committed to shared goals. Without trust, leaders can only rely on authority and compliance, which limit both engagement and results. Building trust requires several key elements: honesty, even when it's uncomfortable, reliability in following through on commitments, vulnerability in admitting mistakes and limitations, and empathy in understanding and caring about others' perspectives and feelings. The beautiful thing about trust is that it creates a positive cycle. The more you trust others, the more trustworthy they tend to become. When you demonstrate faith in people's abilities and intentions, they often rise to meet those expectations. When you show vulnerability and authenticity, others feel safe to do the same. Trust also enables speed and efficiency. In high trust relationships and organizations, less time is spent on checking up, creating safeguards, and protecting against potential problems. More energy can be focused on collaboration, innovation, and achieving shared objectives. Key 6. Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. How many people do you know who work incredibly hard yet seem perpetually stressed, exhausted, and unfulfilled? They're busy from morning to night, achieving goals and meeting deadlines, yet something feels fundamentally wrong. They're experiencing the difference between hard work that energizes and hard work that depletes. When you're working toward something you care deeply about, effort feels different. Yes, you still get tired. Yes, there are still challenges and obstacles. But the fatigue is accompanied by a sense of purpose and progress. The challenges feel like puzzles to solve rather than burdens to bear. The obstacles become opportunities to prove your commitment and develop your capabilities. Stress, in its most destructive form, comes from the misalignment between your actions and your values, between what you're doing and what matters to you. When you spend your days on activities that don't connect to your deeper purpose, your soul rebels. Your body keeps score, manifesting the disconnect through anxiety, exhaustion, and a sense of emptiness that no amount of external success can fill. This doesn't mean that every moment of work should be pure joy. Even when you're pursuing your deepest passion, there will be mundane tasks, difficult conversations, and periods of frustration. But when these challenges serve a larger purpose you believe in, they become bearable, even meaningful. The key is to find ways to connect your daily activities to your larger why. Sometimes this means changing what you do. Sometimes it means changing how you think about what you do. Sometimes it means recognizing that your current role, even if it's not your ultimate calling, is preparing you for something greater or providing resources that will enable you to pursue your true purpose. Consider the single parent who works two jobs they don't particularly enjoy to provide for their children. Thereby creating opportunities for their kids transforms even the most tedious work into an act of love and purpose. The struggle becomes sacred when it serves something greater. Or think about the entrepreneur who works 18-hour days building their startup. They're exhausted, but they're not stressed in the same way as someone trapped in a meaningless job. They're tired from pursuing their vision, not from avoiding their purpose. Key 7. The value of life is not determined by length but by donation. In our youth obsessed, longevity focused culture, we often measure a successful life by how long it lasts rather than how much it contributes. We celebrate birthdays as achievements and fear aging as failure. But the most meaningful lives are not necessarily the longest ones, they are the ones that give the most to others. History is filled with individuals whose brief time on Earth created lasting change that continues to benefit humanity centuries later. Their legacy wasn't measured in years but in impact, not in duration but in donation. They understood that life's value lies not in what we accumulate for ourselves but in what we contribute to others. This perspective is profoundly liberating. It shifts our focus from selfish concerns about personal longevity to meaningful questions about daily contribution. Instead of asking, "How can I live longer?" we ask, "How can I live better? How can I make today count? How can I use my time, talents, and resources to benefit others?" Every day presents opportunities for donation, not just financial gifts, but donations of time, attention, expertise, encouragement, and love. The teacher who stays after school to help a struggling student is making a donation. The colleague who shares credit for a successful project is making a donation. The friend who listens without judgment during a difficult time is making a donation. These donations don't require wealth, fame, or special positions. They require only awareness, intentionality, and generosity of spirit. They're available to everyone, regardless of circumstances, and they often have far greater impact than grand gestures that receive more attention. The beautiful paradox is that the more we give, the more meaningful our own lives become. Purpose isn't found by looking inward but by reaching outward. Fulfillment doesn't come from getting more but from giving more. Joy multiplies when it's shared rather than hoarded. This doesn't mean neglecting your own needs or burning yourself out in service to others. Sustainable giving requires self-care and boundaries. But it does mean orienting your life around contribution rather than consumption, around serving rather than being served, around leaving things better than you found them. Key 8. If you want to feel inspired, you have to inspire others. Inspiration is not a passive experience, it's an active choice and a reciprocal process. Many people wait to feel inspired before they act, but the truth is often the reverse. Inspiration comes through the act of inspiring others. When you invest your energy in lifting others up, something magical happens within you. You tap into reserves of creativity, passion, and purpose that you didn't know existed. You discover capabilities you never recognized. You find meaning that transforms even ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences. Think about the times in your life when you felt most alive and energized. Chances are, these were moments when you were helping someone else achieve something important to them. Perhaps you were mentoring a colleague, encouraging a friend through a difficult time, or teaching someone a new skill. In focusing on their success, you found your own inspiration. This principle works at both individual and organizational levels. Companies that focus solely on profits often struggle with employee engagement and innovation. But companies that focus on serving customers, developing employees, and contributing to their communities often find that profitability follows naturally as a byproduct of their service oriented approach. Leaders who inspire others are themselves energized by the process. They don't drain their energy by trying to control or micromanage. Instead, they multiply their energy by empowering others to achieve their potential. They create positive cycles where inspiration flows in all directions. The act of inspiring others requires you to be your best self. You can't give what you don't have. To encourage others to pursue their dreams, you must be actively pursuing your own. To help others overcome their fears, you must be facing your own. To support others in their growth, you must be committed to your own development. This creates a beautiful accountability system. When others are counting on you to be a source of inspiration and guidance, you're motivated to live up to that responsibility. You become more conscious of your choices, more intentional about your growth, more committed to your values. Key 9. Champion the person you know they can become. One of the greatest gifts you can give another person is to see their potential before they see it themselves. To believe in their capabilities when they doubt them. To hold space for their growth when they are struggling. To champion not just who they are today, but who they can become tomorrow. This requires a special kind of vision, the ability to look beyond current circumstances, past mistakes, and present limitations to see the seeds of greatness within every individual. It requires patience because growth takes time. It requires faith because transformation isn't always linear or obvious. Great teachers, coaches, mentors, and leaders possess this quality. They see past the rough exterior to the diamond within. They look beyond current performance to future potential. They invest in people not because of what they've already accomplished, but because of what they believe they can accomplish. This isn't about having unrealistic expectations or ignoring genuine limitations. It's about recognizing that every person has unique gifts, talents, and capabilities that may not yet be fully developed or expressed. It's about creating environments where people feel safe to take risks, to fail, to learn, and to grow. When you champion someone's potential, you often help them see it too. Your belief becomes a mirror that reflects back their own possibilities. Your encouragement becomes fuel for their efforts. Your patience becomes permission for their learning process. This approach transforms relationships. Instead of trying to change people, you support their own growth. Instead of focusing on their weaknesses, you build on their strengths. Instead of being disappointed by who they are today, you're excited about who they're becoming. The impact can be profound and lasting. Many successful people can point to someone who believed in them before they believed in themselves. Someone who saw their potential and refused to give up on them. Someone who championed their growth even when they struggled to champion their own. Key 10. The courage to continue is what counts. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. This truth, though simple, is perhaps the most important lesson for anyone pursuing meaningful goals and lasting impact. Life will knock you down. Projects will fail. Relationships will end. Dreams will be deferred. Plans will fall apart. These experiences are not signs that you're on the wrong path, they are simply part of the human experience. What matters is not whether these setbacks occur, but how you respond when they do. Courage is not the absence of fear or doubt. It's feeling the fear and acting anyway. It's acknowledging the doubt and moving forward despite it. It's getting back up not because you feel like it, but because you know your why is worth it. This type of courage is different from momentary bravery. It's not the courage of a single heroic act, but the courage of persistent effort over time. It's showing up when you don't want to. It's continuing when you can't see immediate results. It's maintaining faith when evidence suggests giving up would be easier. The path to anything meaningful is never smooth. There will be valleys of difficulty between peaks of success. There will be periods of confusion between moments of clarity. There will be seasons of struggle between times of abundance. The courage to continue means accepting this reality and pressing forward anyway. This courage is strengthened by remembering your why, by focusing on the people you serve, by celebrating small progress even when the larger goal seems distant. It's supported by community, surrounding yourself with others who share your values and will encourage you when your own motivation wavers. Most importantly, this courage grows with exercise. Each time you choose to continue despite difficulty, you build your resilience muscle. Each time you persist through a challenge, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you imagined. Each time you get back up after being knocked down, you become a little bit stronger. Conclusion: living with clarity and purpose. These 10 keys to clarity are not just concepts to understand, they are principles to live by. They're not destinations to reach, they're paths to walk. They're not perfection to achieve, they're practices to embrace. Clarity comes not from having all the answers, but from asking the right questions. It comes from aligning your actions with your values, your work with your why, your daily choices with your deepest beliefs. It comes from understanding that your life is not about you, it's about your contribution to others. The world needs leaders who start with why, who build trust through consistency, who inspire others by being inspired themselves. It needs individuals who understand that perfection is the enemy of progress, that stress comes from misalignment, that value is measured by donation rather than duration. Most of all, the world needs people who have the courage to continue to keep growing, keep serving, keep believing in the possibility of something better. People who champion others' potential, who work toward purposes larger than themselves, who understand that true leadership is about taking care of those in their charge. You have within you everything you need to live a life of clarity and purpose. You have unique gifts to share, specific contributions to make, particular people to serve. Your why is waiting to be discovered or rediscovered. Your potential is waiting to be unlocked. Your impact is waiting to be made. The journey won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Trust the process, embrace the growth, celebrate the progress. Remember that every expert was once a beginner, every leader was once a follower, every person who made a difference was once someone who decided to start. Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your opportunity is today. Step forward with courage, lead with purpose, live with clarity. The world is waiting for what only you can give. The clarity you seek is not somewhere in the future, it's available right now, in this moment, through these principles, in your next decision. Choose wisely, act boldly, continue courageously. Your journey of purposeful living and authentic leadership begins